Hello, welcome to Budos Budos, the channel of spirituality. Welcome to the stillness. It is still there, still. Stillness. Okay, so I was just watching a video by Adyashanti. I'll add you, shall I? Yeah, I'll add you, shall I? Adyashanti. Yeah, okay. So I was watching a video by Adyashanti. Adyashanti. I'm gonna get stuck on this. Adyashanti. Adya. Adya. Do you want to add me? I'll add you. Shall I? Shanti. Shall I or shanti? Adya. Shall I or shanti? Shall I? Shall I or shanti? Shall I? Shall I? Shantai? Shall I or shantai? Adya shantai. Adya. Oh God. Okay, then let's try and get past this little fixation point of his fucking name. Adyashanti. Done. So, during the watching of that particular video by that particular person with that particular name, I can hear it. I'm not going to say it. No. No. Okay. Right. So when I was watching the video, I was like, oh, you know what? I'm really at the moment. Okay, this is I'm not being silly now. Actually, no, I'm not being silly. I'm actually not. What am I on about though? Okay. Oh yeah. Lately, I've been like trying to talk for one thing. That's it. I've been trying to get my spiritual path back in order, I suppose. Get in line, you. Because, well, my spiritual path, there's no real difference between my spiritual path and my personal journey, my personal path, if you like. So there's no difference between me kind of seeking enlightenment or of some sort of God, fusing with God thing, and me just kind of doing life. There's no difference to that. And I just want to quickly touch upon a point about what is meditation, because I don't see any difference, no fundamental difference between me sat on a pillow going, and I'm not being frivolous, actually. I'm not actually being frivolous here. There is no fundamental difference to who I am sat on a pillow going, there's no fundamental difference between that and me doing the dishes, me drinking this water. You know, there's no difference between the who I am there and the who I am here and the who I am everywhere. You know, it's all part of the same one beingness, consciousness. Okay, and 1 second. And even if I were to refuse with God, which has happened before in the past, where I feel like, yes, come on, like I've merged with God, and like everyone around me is a reflection of God, which is something that I am actively trying to cultivate, and just doesn't seem to want to be fucking happening at the moment, which is annoying. That's my primary kind of like overarching, like that. I know that that's what I'm sort of working towards. I really want to feel that again, where literally like the world seems to be vibrating as this being. It's almost like I'm watching myself showing myself to myself. It's very strange. So imagine that I was like that. This sort of body part, my eyes and everything, that my body and my mind and everything here is watching the outer world as an expression of myself. So myself meaning not an expression of my body and my mind and my hairstyle and everything like this, but an expression of myself as this sort of giant vibrating being, the God part of myself, the part of me. So I link up to what God is experiencing. So imagine God experiences everything. Um, all these sights and sounds, God's experiencing all of that. Because if you subscribe to the notion that I am trying to get to, where God is basically kind of consciousness, it's just the consciousness of the universe, or the intelligence of the universe, or the thing that the universe is made of and is held within and infuses the universe. If you understand that that's what God is, that God is basically everything and anything, and the potential for anything and everything, and is in everything and anything, and creates everything and anything at all times, and is always here, has always been here. There's no difference between you and him, her, it, the universe. If you understand that that's what God is, and then when you can somehow manage to kind of synchronize your mind and your body to be in touch with that, then the outer world as such appears as though it is just another expression of what you already are. Now, that I rarely experience that at the moment. I went through a period where I was kind of seeing it every now and again, and I was like, yeah, I can tell that this person, like my mum, occasionally I will sort of see the flavor of that kind of God experience flicker across her, and I'll go, I know her as myself. Like, I know her as an expression of me, that I see it's not even like similarity, it's that I see her as me. So let's see, I remember this time when I was watching her do she went to a dance class, and I went to go there to watch because I was going to go crazy if I was at home, because I'd just gone through a big breakup and I didn't know what to do with myself. And I was like, Mum, can I come with you to your dance class, whatever? I don't want to do anything. I just need to be around people. I need to watch and whatever. And so I watched my mum kind of dancing around on the dance floor, and I just had this experience that she was me. That not even like she was like me or she looked like me, but that no, there I am over there dancing around and having a good time and enjoying myself. That was me. And not even like in a kind of comparative sense, like, oh, that reminds me of me, how I dance. No, it was like direct realization. There I am over there. That is me. That is me right now. Not a kind of representation of me, how I remind myself of me. La 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 la. No, there I am. And to know myself as being my mum, as well as this body, kind of this, hairstyle. It's all about hairstyles. No, so I had this kind of direct realization, and I've had this before with various different people, briefly usually, but there was a period in my life that was an extended period of this feeling where I really knew that the whole of life was basically a vibration, kind of pattern of God, or like a sort of face of God. It's just that everything had that sense of God, godness being infused in everything. So that's, if you like, my kind of banner headline as to, right, that's where I really like that experience quite a lot. It's really, really cool. Where I experience the other person there is like, I feel them, not even feel them, I know them. They are myself. They are me. There's no difference between this me and that me. It's like, yeah, there they are. And here I am. And to be, it's like awe in awe of that experience, like, whoa, you know, I can't believe that I'm experiencing these other people to be expressions of myself, and still interacting normally and everything. You know, it's not in an ego sense, like, oh, you know, everything relates to me, I'm the central focus. No, it's like, whoa, we're all one being. Like, all of these little people who we think of ourselves to be this separate kind of little entities, like going about our days and picking things up and putting things down and going here and going there and doing all this stuff. And that's not, I mean, that's true, but it's also part of this godness, this real vibration that we're all a manifestation of God. And so, as I was saying, yeah, that's my kind of, that's what I'm looking for in a sense, or that's what I'm waiting for and noticing it and sort of trying to fixate myself towards. But so the topic of this video is my path at the moment and what's been going on there. The thing I'm really finding to be troublesome about my spirituality is my fucking body. My body is wrecked, you know, not completely wrecked, you know. I don't think I'm dying, although there was a period when I thought I was dying. I was like, oh my God. I was scared to go to sleep on at least 2 occasions because I felt my body was like turning into light. And I think that's a good thing actually, but I was worried that I was literally just going to burst into light and just, because my body was kind of, I don't know, I had this experience that I was sinking backwards deeper and deeper into my body, and like kind of reaching a deeper and deeper place inside my body of what I can feel within my body. You know, maybe normally we're only really aware of what we feel in our kind of skin, the outer layer of our body. So, you know, we can feel heat and we can feel touch. And then we also feel like our hungers and our sort of emotions and our passions, and our fears and things like this. We feel that kind of here in the heart space or in the gut, you know, and we feel the urge to go for a piss, and we feel the urge that we need to go for a poo. You know, we feel our sexual drives in the body, don't we? Like that burning feeling like you want to have sex. But then I was going deeper into the feeling of my body, like really going backwards kind of thing. And what was coming was this like real sense of a light body, so a sense of the deeper than all these like surface level sensations of touch and heat and the movement of the like digestive system, which is the biggest problem for me at the moment, by the way. But I was going back further and further into feeling like what it feels to be inside my body and actively trying to go further. And then I was getting there. I was like, I feel like I'm disintegrating. Like I felt like I was turning into light, that the whole of my body was just starting to turn into light. And it wasn't a pleasant sensation. I mean, it was and it wasn't. It was too pleasant. It was like really, really intense feeling. And I wasn't high or anything. You know, I don't do drugs anymore. But it was scary. It was really scary because I was afraid that maybe that was a death experience, and that maybe that's what death feels like. That if you go through a conscious death, like, and you feel that your body is starting to kind of give up the life impulse, but your consciousness is still there, and you're slowly moving further and further back, kind of away from the surface level experience of your body and getting to the core of what is your body made of. That it really felt like I was about to die, not because I felt like I was ill and I was about to die from illness, but it just felt like, oh my God, like that is maybe what it feels like to pass through to the other side or something. You know, that your body just starts to feel like it's turned into light, and then maybe you just become light or something. I don't know. And your physical body dies on the exterior, but your light body just continues to be there, like woof. So that was a scary experience. Yeah. But yeah, so my body is really fucked. It's fucked because I smoked. I don't understand how smoking for 3 years could give me such a reaction in my body. Like, I know people who smoke for years and years and years, and they don't seem to have any effects. And yet, I smoked for 3 years, and my body's just like, fucking hates it. And the detox from giving up smoking is taking so long. I'm really upset with my body. I genuinely am upset with my body. I'm really like hacked off with it. I'm really annoyed it's taking so long to fucking heal. Um, you know, and I did wonder whether I had cancer. I don't go to the doctor and have them to tell me yes it is cancer. Um, I don't really want to go to the doctor and have them say anything because I just um I don't want someone from the outside to interpret and label my experience. You know, if it is cancer and I end up dying from it, then I would rather go through that experiencing it myself without trying to change that in a way. I don't, if it's my time to die, then I'd rather just die. This might be a bit weird sounding to you, but I mean, yeah, I've got things to live for, of course, but I'd rather just go, yeah, I've had enough. I've had enough. I don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah, fine. If it's my time, let's do it now. Let's do it. I've done enough. You know, I've had a full life of experiences. So if now's the time to disintegrate, fine. But do it in my sleep, please. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to really experience dying. I don't want to experience the actual, you know, especially if it's going to be painful or intense in any way. I just let me go to sleep and let me just not wake up. Okay, just have it that way, please. All right, I don't want to be crapping myself beforehand. As in, you know, I don't want to be really afraid of death. Um, I don't want to know that it's happening. I just want to go to bed. Right, like normal. Think, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Today was a good day, or today was a shit day. Don't really mind. I just want to go to bed and be like, and then I just want to die. I just want to die and be asleep, and just to not wake up, and you know, and fine, because I've already kind of maxed out in one way of a certain level of awareness. So everything on one level of my experience is interchangeable. That sounds really strange, but uh, nothing more can happen in the outside world or even on the inside world, really, that I don't understand to just be part of myself or part of my awareness. So even that death experience that I was just talking about recently, just a minute ago, sorry, of me being really afraid of dying, even that was being contained within this sense of awareness, you know. So there was this kind of activity inside me of being afraid of the death of dying and stuff, but even that was being held within the light of my consciousness, or the understanding of my consciousness, you know. So, and that was an impermanent experience as well. So there's no experience in terms of physical things or internal understandings or anything that have any sense of permanency at all. And I know that every experience that happens is always happening inside, or um, is kind of like happening through or within the context of me as awareness. So there's nothing really further on that level that I can ever do to change who I am, because the who I amness does not pertain to all of this world type of stuff. The identity that I experience myself as is not actually the body, even though the body is giving myself jip. You know, the body is like really a pull. The body is really pulling at the moment, especially my fucking gut area. My gut is like, you know, and then there's the awareness of that, and then there's the awareness of it's annoying me. So all of these experiences are still all contained within this kind of sense of awareness, but the body is really trying hard to like make itself known, and to just trying to pull um some sense of I don't know what it is, like separation or some sense of permanency, I suppose. It's trying to pull itself as a point of fixation for my awareness to try and slip out of itself. The body is trying to kind of pull me into believing that I'm not awareness. That's it's kind of trying to like pull me back into a sense of a separate self or an individuated item of self, just by the body just being there and having these pulls in it. And yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying because, in fact, the body seems to be annoyed itself. My gut seems to be kind of annoyed about itself. And it's just continually rumbling at the moment. And it's really annoying. So actually what my spiritual path is working this fucking thing out, basically. Is to sort my body out, basically. So more exercise, eating slightly better. My diet is, I've been improving it very gradually, because I know that my body is an interesting creature. And like the way my personality and my body interact is kind of interesting. Like my body has like responds to my personality, basically, or as an expression of my personality. So I get really happy about trifle. I get really happy about trifle. Uh, yeah, see, yeah, and I'm gonna get some trifle soon, and like I'll eat a bit of trifle, and whoa, all these digestive problems, they just kind of clear out real nice, real quick. So I need to put more trifle on the list, because that solves my digestive problem, digestive, digestion, more powerful. It solves my digestion problem when I eat a bit of trifle. Now I can't eat too much because that gives you a different kind of digestion problem, which is, I've eaten too much trifle. So it's all a delicate balance, the life that we lead. Okay. So the body, yeah. So body, I gotta. The body's just giving me fucking hell. It's giving me hell. It's like, come on with the fat belly, and my left side was, giving up smoking was a nightmare. Oh God, it was a nightmare. My chest was just in a rage. Like it felt just in constant irritation or pain or discomfort, or like this kind of throbbing feeling. My neck was going like, Lord. And that went on for like 5 months in varying degrees, and it's only like in the past sort of week or two that I've noticed, hey, I haven't had that fucking throbbing sensation in my neck for for a little while, and my chest has not been on fire for like the past 2 weeks or so. Hey, I had a little tinge of it every now and again over the past 2 or 3 days, when it's like like this contracted feeling there in the chest, like pulling in the lungs, tightening. So, and yeah, so giving up smoking was horrendous. And I was even thinking earlier on today, I was like, I don't know if I could do it, man. I think I need to have a fag. I think I need to get back onto the smoking. Because another part of this thing, right, that they don't tell you about very often in the giving up smoking stuff, literature, whatever, is the real like deep emotional, psychological, feeling based, intuitive, like identity type stuff around smoking. Like my whole, basically, when I quit my antidepressant medication that I was on, back from the days when I was like hospitalized in the psychiatric ward and stuff like this, and depressed and all this. But when I quit my medication 5 years after coming out of the psych ward, when I quit all of my medication, so antipsychotic and antidepressants, but mainly the antidepressants, when I came off those in the end of 2013, that's the point where I would define as my life began. My life began, like my life as me as an individual, um, me as a me as a function of myself, right? As in me directed by myself, me as a self-governing being, me as an autonomous, self-created, self-made, self-oriented, as in, pushed, driven, sorry, self-driven, self-motivated person, rather than what it was before, which was my identity structure, my personality, my whole life was oriented around a codependent living, like way of living. So it was all my life was a function of the society I was in. My life was a function of the people who were around me. My life was a function of my family system. So what that means, or what that meant, was I would do the things that the society around me said was the right thing to do. I would do the things that the people around me would be seeming to suggest was the right thing to do by their behavior, by their actions, by their lifestyle, kind of going along with things. I would do the things that fit in with my role in my family system. And I would feel the things that felt along with the system that surrounded me. My role in the family system was the ill one, the scapegoat kind of ill child, the problem person. So I was the one who sort of shouldered the burden of all the psychological, emotional, and even some of the physical problems that all the other members in the family had, but denied and didn't want to face. So I was the focal point of the turmoil that each of the other people had, and it sort of manifested in me basically. So I was the depressed one, and all the other members who experienced depression but didn't want to admit to it, I would be the one who was kind of shouldering that burden. Yeah, among other things. So at the end of 2013, I would say that my life really began then. So let's say moving into the beginning of 2014, just like 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago or so, whereas my life as self-directed, self-governing, autonomous, kind of, I decide what I do, I decide where I go, I decide what I eat, I decide what I say, I decide who I hang around with, I decide what I want to do in terms of my day and my activities, and it's not influenced or very only partially influenced, very sort of subtly influenced by what other people around me want and think and feel and what the society says is right and good and should be done and all this. So I really kind of went, ooh, here I am. This is my life. This is what I'm going to do, and this is what I want to do, and la. So, so that was a whole big chunk of my spiritual path in itself. And for some of that time, I didn't want to go anywhere near things like God and the unity experience, the experience of being merged with the world or merged with other people. I really didn't want to go anywhere near that because that reminded me too much of my hospitalization phase, where feeling like I was realized as God and feeling that the world had realized itself as being God within me basically got me into a whole load of trouble, and everyone thought I was insane. So I didn't want to go back into a psych ward, so I didn't want to go anywhere near experiences of things like meditation, mindfulness, connectedness with other people, realizing other people as in their essence, becoming empathetic to other people, resonating with other people. Certainly not my family, because they perceived that kind of way of interacting, where non-ego based interacting, non-conceptual based interactions, interacting in a free form kind of way, like I'm doing now, where I don't have a plan, and where I'm not kind of self-seeking. I'm not trying to attain a sort of conception of myself by what I'm saying. I'm not trying to put a put across an impression of myself. I'm not trying to sort of argue the point of who I am. I'm not trying to like make you feel a certain way about me, or make you think a certain way about me. I'm not going to try and create an image of me in your mind by what I'm saying and doing. Which is the way that most people are going about, is they're always trying to put an image out to other people, and trying to suggest that they are this way or that way by what they're doing and saying. My family, like, they don't really understand when you talk honestly and authentically without trying to create an image of yourself. They don't understand it when you kind of report authentically on your internal experiences. Oh, I'm feeling this way today. Ooh, no. No, it's not right. No, that can't be the case. They're less bad about that now these days, but that was something they weren't really okay with. Basically, the expression of feelings, the expression of truth, basically telling the truth without dumbing it down or filtering it out or changing it or whatever. Anyway, so let's come back to the point now. So my spiritual path at the moment is basically about getting my body back on track, because I feel like while my body is so big and fat and heavy and like it feels really weighty and weighed down, I'm not able to really experience the subtleties of things like my higher calling. I know that my intuition is slightly off. I know that my judgment is slightly off. I know that my direction mechanism is slightly off. I mean, like, in terms of knowing what I should do next, in terms of knowing what's right for me, in terms of recognizing true paths as they show up. I know that's kind of fucked because my gut is fucked. And if you live your life based on your gut decisions and your gut is fucked, then where are you, And that's probably why I've not been doing much in terms of the outside world for the past year or so, because I'm like, need to sort the gut out because I cannot get any sense out of my fucking system. I can't get any sense out of my usual way of knowing what to do is to kind of ask myself and to wait until a feeling of yes, that sounds like the right thing to do. Or, sensing, I use my body to sense, you can do this as well, to sense, shall I eat this or not? Shall I go here or not? Shall I stay with this person or leave them at the moment? Shall I go out tonight or not? And you kind of just listening internally to what your body says about that experience. So let's take, shall I go out tonight or not? Or shall I go out tonight? And you think, you listen to what your body says, and if your body's going, yeah, great, yeah, wicked, then usually, okay, just go and do that. But if your body goes, yeah, oh no, but what about this? And then you carry on listening and go, yeah, no, I really need to stay in. But I really wanna, yeah, but think about this. This is the most important thing. Something else deeper, or similar. Just on another occasion, you think about going out, and you're like, oh, shall I go out tonight or not? And you listen to your body, and it's just like, yep, fine. You're like, really? And it's like, yep, fine. And like, are you sure? It's like, yeah, really? Yes, it will be okay. Okay then. So it's that listening to your deepest self, and that the body is there to, if you're kind of tuning into your body will make you a signal. Basically, if you're asking yourself anything, your body kind of shows you yes or no. Because if you start to feel good about it, whatever the decision is, and there's no conflict, then it's usually an okay thing to do. But if you have mixed emotions about whether you should do something or not, then it's not clear whether you should be doing it or not. So you need to kind of go into the emotions of it and figure out, all right, what the hell should I be doing then? And at the moment, right, my spiritual path is, my path in the world is kind of fucked because the gut is just full of shit, basically. And it seems like from the quitting smoking thing, the kind of pain, various different levels of pain that I've been through. I had the one experience where it felt like my brain was being eaten from the inside by little rats. Like, oh my god, oh god, like the pain, that fucking, it was like right in the center of my brain, like something was gnawing at my brain from the inside, like literally like a bunch of rats nibbling at this central core like it was a piece of brain cheese, and they're all going like in the middle of my head. It was like, oh god, that pain, that was really, oh, it was right in there. It's like, oh god, that was so intense. So I came through that, and that was like the time before I finally quit smoking. So I quit once and it didn't last for very long, and during that first quitting, I got this rat thing. Oh god, that was painful. Anyway, so I had that. And then the second time round, I didn't have the brain thing. Obviously, I'd finished with that on the first one. And then, so this second time when I've quit now is, I had the whole lung thing, my arms as well were like, and my circulation was fucked for a while. And, just sluggishness. I can't emphasize this enough, with the pain in the chest. Oh God, it's finally gone down. But that pain in the chest it was so long lasting. Oh dear. Oh God, it's like there for just ages. And whenever I talk to anyone as well, in like texting them, it was just constantly coming up. It was this angry feeling as well. Part of it was like an angry feeling. It's like, so whenever I was texting someone, it would be there, and it was also, it seemed to relate to a feeling of being rejected. So I felt, even though I wasn't being rejected, it was like some old feeling of rejection that was tied in with smoking. So I must have been using smoking to feel accepted or something, and anger, and so it was all in there. This angry, stressful, hot, ragey feeling. Now the healing seems to be moving into the old gut area. There's not so much of this chest stuff anymore. It's just kind of a weak little feeling there when it's there. And now it's moved down into the gut, and my gut is big and fat. All right, so it's big and fat, and I feel it. Oh God, I feel it as I walk around. I feel it's a giant blubbering thing, and it's not. I mean, I don't feel it as though like I'm self-conscious of it. I am self-conscious of it as well, but I feel it. I feel it from the inside. It's not like, oh, I feel fat, which actually means I feel like I look fat. No, I feel the sensation of the fatness. I can feel my belly. I feel it from the inside, wobbling around, I feel it there. And it feels gross. I don't like it. I'm not used to, I've never been this fat before. It probably doesn't look that big, but it's, when I've never been this fat before, I feel this. I feel it. I feel it from the inside, I'm walking around, and I'm like, someone said to me yesterday, it's like I'm pregnant. 2 days ago, it's like I'm pregnant. And it feels that way. It feels like a big weight, a sloppy Giuseppe of weight. It's just this big fat fucking thing that is made of basically crap. I feel like it's compressed poo in there. It's just pointless, wasted flubber. And it's not even flubber. It's just all this sort of like marbling of fat. So that's my spiritual path. I've turned into the fat fucking Buddha, and I'm not meant to be the fat Buddha. Ho 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 with little fucking coins like that. Ha ha ha. Whatever. That's not the Buddha that I'm supposed to be. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be the Buddha. You know. No. I'm that one. Okay, the slim one. Oh dear. So my spiritual path. Because while my body is all turbulent, I can't get any sense out of myself. And therefore I cannot get any kind of clarity on anything. Literally all my attention is being focused into the feeling in my body, because it's so distracting. I mean, obviously I can still get along with my life, but the main focus point of my life is getting the fucking body sorted out. And once I can clear this feeling in the body up a bit more, then I start to feel lighter, and I can start to give more of a contribution to other people. I feel like I can't really contribute to anyone at the moment because of, like, my whole attention is absorbed into this trying to get the body right, trying to get the body to feel better, So I don't feel like I really have much of a service element in my life for like about 6 months while I was angry. I didn't feel like I could really be of service to anyone, because the only service I could be to them is shout at them, get angry at them. So I just kind of really just stayed away from people for a lot of that time, because I didn't want to hurt anyone by suddenly snapping at someone because I was so irritated, just because of this painful feeling in there. Yeah. So I'll say one last thing, which is about the spiritual path and the body. So the body is clearing up slowly. As I've said, the chest is now better overall. I get this spongy feeling every now and again as well. Like, there's more of a peaceful feeling in my body overall than there ever has been. But then it's contrasted with this really grumbly, fat, growly belly that is just like, oh, what are you? Huh? Why are you here? Where did you come from with the smoking? I gave up smoking and I fucking put on weight. Now I got to lose that weight. Oh, it's a nightmare. And it's not happy fat, It's not happy fat. It's not happy. It's an unhappy fatness. It's like a ball of demons. Literally, that's how it feels. There's all these like little ghouls in there going. Oh God, it's so annoying. Pardon me. Yeah. So, so the thing I was going to mention was something else that seems to be happening in terms of my spiritual path is well, I seem to be coming forward more into the body. So as this whole sort of thing is healing, I'm feeling more starting to feel more me, I suppose. Not as much as I would like, but I'm starting to feel more like my original self again. Like, starting to feel like who I am, as in, that awareness that I speak of, that's what I am. Well, I'm starting to feel like a representation of that. It's so strange, but it feels like the awareness that I am comes into my body more, and so it's sort of like feeling like maybe there's some kind of template for kind of who you are as an individual that gets formed. Like, maybe it's like the inner child or something, or it's like the soul or something. I don't know, but I feel like me more, not completely, because the whole gut thing does not feel like me. It feels like some pile of demons. Yeah, and that is, for me personally, the two real big things for me in spirituality are about feeling very deeply, or maybe three things. Let's start with the first two. Feeling very deeply in touch with myself and my individuality. So feeling in touch with who I am in my body, in my life, in the things that I want to do, how I feel, my opinions, my needs, my wishes, um, you know, my life in terms of like how I relate to my friends, my family. That real deep, rich sense of individuality that my life makes sense to me. And then there's that second part, which is that over it's like reaching outness, so going beyond just that and becoming part of something bigger and impacting the world on a larger way, in a more meaningful way, kind of connecting with other people, touching other people, enriching other people's lives. And then the final part of that is the real sense of merging with creation. So merging with the world and feeling like I've just become the world, become an expression of the world. So become God in a body. Yeah. Um. Hmm. And like, and so I move between or through these different layers of experience. So often my spiritual path is just about I just want to get my diet sorted. I just want to get my room tidy. Uh, I just want to get to the point where I am maintaining myself in terms of like my hygiene, my dress, my appearance, my body, my outer life. I just want to get that nailed down. I just want to get to the point where maintaining my life as an individual is easy for me to do. Because I went through a period of real struggle with like doing things like my hygiene went to pot for a while after my last breakup. Um, you know, washing my hair, cleaning my teeth, showering, just went, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to lie in a pit of scum. And my room was a mess for ages. So things like that, that's part of my spiritual path. It's just the normal, mundane, boring things of life, of getting that shit sorted. And then my spiritual path also involves my creative life, which I don't really see as being much different from my spiritual path. As I was saying, like right at the beginning, that there's no real fundamental difference between me in any of these different areas and me on my spiritual path. It's all part of me as my life moving forward. And going really right back to that idea of meditation, that at a certain point in my awakening journey, whatever, I sort of slipped into this sense that life is one continuous meditation. So, as I was saying earlier, there's no difference between me sitting on a pillow going omana, or quietening my mind or zenning in. There's no difference fundamentally to who I am or to my state of consciousness. Fundamentally, I might change the form of my experience. So I might feel more up or more down or more deep or more bright or more still, but fundamentally all of that stuff is occurring within what I am as awareness, and that's primary. Yeah, so therefore the whole concept of mindfulness, I'm trying to dismantle that, because I think that practicing mindfulness is only a beginning. And eventually you are that mindfulness. That was always what you were anyway. You are that mindful awareness that's That's what you are. And that takes over. So there's no sense of a difference in fundamental nature of me in mindfulness meditation and me having a poo, because it's continuous. There's no break. There's no like break in awareness between me sat on a chair meditating and me walking about, picking an apple off a tree, whatever. There's no like, oh, now I'm meditating, now I'm not meditating. It's like all contained and all experienced through that mindfulness. And that's what you're kind of aiming for anyway. So if you stop thinking of mindfulness as something to do, but more as something that you already are, and that you have to kind of surrender all the things that make you believe that you're not already who you are. And you just give it up and you just let go of those things and you go, well, they're not really me anyway. If you stop putting a distinction between yourself and your meditation, and you're just saying, oh yes, this is just another thing I'm doing, then that's really the goal of it anyway. That the goal of you doing all these meditation practices is you're just trying to reconnect with that part of you that has always been there anyway. That mindfulness that is always mindful. I remember when I used to sit on the pillow doing the meditation, doing the mindfulness meditation, and I was just thinking loads of stuff, thinking how great I was at it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm really getting it now. Oh yeah, oh I can hear all these thoughts. Yeah, oh, I'm watching my thoughts. Oh, I'm so good at this. Oh my god, yeah, I've totally got the hang of it now. Oh, I'm the best meditator ever. I'm totally meditating right now. I've meditated it. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm so meditating. Yeah. Oh, I can hear another thought. Yeah, I'm meditating. Oh my god, I'm so mindful right now. Oh my god, yeah, I was listening. Feel this little. I can feel a sensation there. Yeah. Oh, I'm meditating. I'm so good at meditating. I'm a meditator now. So that was my mindfulness. And then, and I'm sure loads of people do that actually. That all the mindfulness is to begin with is you've only just suddenly realised that you have a brain. You only just suddenly realise that you have a mind, and it's really full of shit. And then what you come to eventually is you just come to this continuous knowing and continuous knowingness of continuousness, basically, that you're just always here, that you are always the light of consciousness, that you are in every situation, through every event, in every experience, pardon me, that you are just that background sense of being here-ness, of aliveness, of existence. And that's what I meant earlier on, where everything in life is, on one level, kind of interchangeable. On other levels, I really don't want to be in a Nazi concentration camp. So there's obviously the part of me that doesn't want to go anywhere near that. And it's unlikely to happen anyway. But yeah. But if I was to be in that situation, there would still be the continuous awareness of presence, that in that situation there is some part of me that is continuous, that is present, that is the knowing of all those things that happen. So even to approach this God experience, this unity experience, this oneness with like a merging with the other person in some way, even that would be a temporary, transient occurrence within the permanent knowingness that never goes anywhere, that stays, the continuousness I think the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu calls it constancy. So the knowingness in constancy, seamlessness of experience. So even if I was to go into that experience again of merging with God, or to merge with the world, even that would still be occurring as a transient form, a transient experience within what I am as this here-ness, continuous, permanent, unchanging. I was going to say fixed, but fixed doesn't. It's not fixed because there's no sense of it being localized as being a point or anything. It's just continuous, ongoing, being here-ness, being alive, or being aware, or being conscious, being awake. So, in summary, I need to lose my big fat belly. Oh, because I can't get my life on all the other levels, apart from the level of awareness. I can't get it to fucking do anything while I'm sat about going. Ugh. So more exercise is happening already, better eating, and just trying to really pay attention to what is going to make me feel better right now. What is going to make me feel better? What is going to make my body feel better? What does my body need? Like getting even more deeply into listening to what my body is asking me to do, to help it, to change it, to make it feel better. Because while my body is unhappy, I can't be fully happy in my emotions and in my mind, and therefore I cannot be very effective in the world. And I want to be effective. Yeah. And now we will sit in silence.